Now, big terror ambush in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch. 5 army jawans were killed in an operation meant to counter a massive infiltration bid in Poonch sector at the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. The search for infiltrators still on in the Surangkot area of Poonch, while the army has now cordoned off the area. Sources further revealed that there was a ceasefire in place in that area since February this year, which has now been shattered due to terror bid. The encounter between terrorists and security forces started in a forest area of Poonch, while sources close to India today have said that at least 3 to 4 terrorists are believed to be hiding in that area. Earlier, in a major win for security forces, 2 terrorists were gunned down in 2 separate encounters that took place in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag and Bandipora last night. One of them was Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist who killed civilians.
पूरा देश अपने जांबाज वीरों को नमन करता है। तमाम आतंकवादी जो सेना ने घेर के रखे हैं और जो एलओसी से घुसपैठ करके जम्मू कश्मीर में घुसे हैं, सबको चुन चुन कर मौत के घाट उतारेंगे। सेना ने पूरे क्षेत्र को, पुंछ के अंदर हो या बांडीपुरा हो, अनंतनाग हो, पूरे क्षेत्र को कॉर्डन कर दिया है। तमाम आतंकवादियों को मौत के घाट उतारेंगे। सेना ने पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर को बचाने का काम किया है और पाकिस्तान की हर साजिश को हमारी सेना ने विफल किया है।
Now let me quickly cut across to Abhishek Bhalla joining us live for more on that. Abhishek, 5 of our very brave soldiers who managed to gun down 2 terrorists unfortunately were killed in that gunfight. Take us through exactly how this encounter and the face-off that took place. How did it really pan out? Was this a planned attempt to gun down those terrorists? Were the soldiers in the know of their movements?
Well, there was information, Nabila, of an infiltration attempt, and that's why a cordon and search operation was launched in the area earlier this morning. Unfortunately, 5 Indian soldiers, that includes 1 junior commissioned officer, were killed in action. There was an ambush that was laid by the terrorists in which they got trapped and they had to lay down their lives. They were evacuated for immediate medical attention, but by the time they could reach, they succumbed to their injuries. But, you know, there has been a ceasefire agreement between India and Pakistan since February this year. But over the last 1 month, there has been an increase in infiltration attempts from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Just last month, back-to-back infiltration attempts happened in Uri, and now this time south of Pir Panjal in the Poonch sector. It remains to be seen how things will pan out from here. What will be the status of the ceasefire? That's the big question if such infiltration attempts continue and if Indian Army soldiers are targeted.
Thank you very much, Abhishek, for joining us with those details. But for now, what information that we get is that 5 of our jawans have been killed in Poonch while they were on the hunt for terrorists. The encounter resulted in 2 terrorists being gunned down, unfortunately also taking lives of 5 of our Indian Army soldiers. Now, the recent killings of people belonging to the minority communities in Kashmir have triggered fresh exodus of Kashmiri Pandits who were serving as government employees in that valley. Hundreds of fear-stricken Kashmiri Pandit government employees have now reached Jammu. They are currently staying at the Jagti refugee camp. They are among the people who fled the valley in the 1990s but returned in 2010 when the then UPA government provided them with government jobs under Prime Minister's Special Employment Scheme for displaced Kashmiri Pandits. India Today spoke to relatives of these displaced Kashmiri Pandits who narrated their ordeal. Let's take a listen.
वो बहुत डरे हुए थे, सहमे हुए थे, क्योंकि उनको लग रहा है कि आज से 90 फिर से रिपीट हो रहा है। जैसे 90 में कम्प्लीटली टारगेट किया गया कश्मीरी पंडितों को, आज 31 साल के बाद फिर से कश्मीरी पंडितों को ही टारगेट बनाया जा रहा है। सिलेक्टिव किलिंग में सोच रहे हैं। इससे हमारे बच्चे डर गए और मजबूर हो गए कश्मीर छोड़ने को और वापस आए। उन्होंने आज चिंता नहीं कि हमारी जान जाए या रहे, लेकिन उन्होंने जान बचाने के लिए कश्मीर छोड़ दिया। हमारी इस टाउनशिप में कम से कम पिछले 2 दिन में 400 बच्चे वापस आ गए।
भारत सरकार को भी देखना चाहिए इन्होंने कितनी कुर्बानियां इस देश के लिए दे दी, उस हिसाब से चलना चाहिए। कश्मीरी पंडितों के मसले जो है वो हल करना चाहिए। हमारे मसले आज तक हल नहीं, पर्सनली मैं कह रहा हूं कि कश्मीरी पंडितों का मसला अभी तक जेर गौर भारत सरकार मतलब सीरियस नहीं ले रहा है। मुझे लग रहा है हमें रास्ते पर छोड़ के अभी हमारे साथ कोई ऐसा काम नहीं हुआ जो होना चाहिए।
Right now I'm standing in Jagti refugee camp, which is the biggest refugee camps of the displaced Kashmiri Pandits on the outskirts of Jammu city. And here yesterday hundreds of the Kashmiri Pandit employees who are currently serving in the valley, they arrived here. They once again left the Kashmir Valley and they came to Jammu. They are so terrified that they don't even want to come on the camera and narrate their tale. So you can understand the kind of fear psychosis that is currently prevailing among the Hindus and the Sikhs of the valley. In 1990, there was mass exodus of the Hindus. Almost the entire community was made to leave their homes by the terrorists. And many are saying that the situation that was prevailing in 1990 is once again being repeated by the terrorists in the Kashmir Valley. Some are being provided security by the administration. Once again, Hindus are leaving the Kashmir Valley. They are arriving in Jammu and they are so terrified that they can't even narrate the horror on camera. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jagti in Jammu for India Today.
Now, a fresh controversy has erupted in Kashmir over senior Congress leader Saifuddin Soze's comments on the killing of minority Kashmiris, calling the killers of non-Muslims in the valley as boys with guns. Soze has said that the government should listen to what they have to say as well. The comments here come on the day that the NIA conducted multiple raids against Lashkar-backed TRS. Here's more on that story.
ऐसा माहौल बनना चाहिए कि हम जिसके हाथ में बंदूक है उससे पूछें क्या आप सोचते हैं।
Less than a week from the brutal killings of non-Muslims, when terrorists looked through ID cards to single out a Sikh principal and a Kashmiri Pandit teacher, only to gun them down in cold blood. These are the shocking words of Congress leader Saifuddin Soze.
उन बच्चों को भी कुछ कहना है, उनकी बात सुनी जानी चाहिए। ऐसा माहौल बनना चाहिए कि हम जिसके हाथ में बंदूक है उससे पूछें क्या आप सोचते हैं।
Terming the butchers as boys with guns who deserve to be heard. A shocking backing for those behind stalking and hunting down non-Muslims and orchestrating an open ethnic cleansing. The controversial remark by Saifuddin Soze comes on a day when the National Investigation Agency began a crackdown on the Resistance Front, the Lashkar-e-Taiba offshoot based in Pakistan, which has owned up to the killings of Kashmiri minorities. 7 raids were conducted against the terror outfit, resulting in the arrest of at least 4 TRF operatives. TRF commander Sajjad Gul's house was also raided by the NIA in Srinagar. Meanwhile, security forces also expanded operations against other anti-India terror elements, rounding up nearly 600 terror suspects, at least 70 of them in Srinagar alone. The violence against minorities in Kashmir has shocked the country, but will it deter the terror apologists? With Ashraf Wani in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Hot spring Depsang still flashpoints. China says India's stand is unrealistic. India exposes Dragon's LAC treachery. China won't relent, neither will India. India stares Dragon in the eyes. India-China mega LAC stalemate.
Now, big India-China stalemate at 13th round of military-level talks that was held yesterday. The Indian side pointed out that the situation along the line of actual control had been caused by unilateral attempts of the Chinese side to alter the status quo in violation of bilateral agreements. As per the official statement, the Indian side made constructive suggestions for resolving remaining areas, but the Chinese side was not agreeable. In fact, statement adds that talks did not result in resolution in remaining areas as the Chinese side could not provide any forward-looking proposals. However, the Indian Army statement says that the two sides have agreed to maintain communications and also to maintain stability on ground. PLA spokesperson, on the other hand, has called India's demands as unreasonable and unrealistic, saying they added difficulties to negotiations. Now, no relief for Aryan Khan, at least until Wednesday. Mumbai Sessions Court hearing Aryan's bail plea has given NCB time until Wednesday to file its reply to the bail application. Arguments for and against the bail will also take place on the same day. They're going to go into merits of the case in detail. Aryan's lawyers pressed for NCB's reply to be filed as soon as possible and argued that NCB has already made its arguments on the bail plea in the magistrate's court and hence won't need much time. Defense lawyer further stated that facts in the case are not complicated as no drugs have been recovered from Aryan. They also argue that someone's liberty cannot be curtailed just because of administrative reasons. NCB, however, maintained that it needed at least a week's time as the agency had to file response to 3 to 4 bail pleas. Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan, has spent 3 nights in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail in the cruise drug bust case after a Mumbai court rejected his bail plea on Friday. He was arrested on the 3rd of October.
The matter is now kept for reply on Wednesday. Till then, no further statement. On Wednesday at 11 o'clock. बुधवार को 11 बजे सुनवाई होगी क्योंकि एनसीबी ने उन्होंने बताया, उनके वकीलों ने बताया कि उनको रिप्लाई फाइल करना है. बुधवार को हम सुनवाई करेंगे. ऐसे जज साहब ने डायरेक्शन दिया है.
All right, let me quickly cut across to Mustafa Sheikh joining us live for more on that. Mustafa, Aryan Khan's bail plea will be heard at 2:45 Wednesday in the special NDPS court. Well, the NCB asked for more time and it was not granted. Time was granted only on Wednesday, saying that since Magistrates Court has heard a lot of the deliberations already, the NCB might not need more time. This was the defence's argument. Furthermore, the defense is now worried that if this delays any further, we're looking at the holiday season stepping in, Dussehra festivities, you have the weekend, and for all you know, if bail is not granted, he could be staying in prison a lot longer than expected.
Yes, of course, Nabila. As of now, that seems to be the concern for the defense lawyers of Aryan Khan, that there is a festive season which is coming, and also NCB has not softened its stand on Aryan Khan yet. They are still saying that it was a conspiracy to have a drug party on the cruise, though the sections which have been added against Aryan Khan are, not of a huge, you can say, very serious crime. It only amounts to a punishment of 1 year if convicted. But at the same time, the ongoing investigations of arrest of drug peddlers, arresting further suppliers is something which could increase problems for Aryan Khan if NCB is able to find a link that there was indeed a conspiracy, there was indeed a time when Aryan Khan had asked for drug through WhatsApp chats. So these are concerns for the defense lawyers that if more time the NCB gets, the investigation is, ongoing. Even on weekends they are making arrests. So if more evidence is found against Aryan Khan, it is likely that for him to get bail could be difficult. Back to you.
All right. I'm going to quickly cut across to Gaurav Bhatia joining us in the phone line for more on that from the BJP. Mr. Bhatia, here we're looking at Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan, who remains in custody for over a week now, and his bail hearing has been pushed to Wednesday. You have a lot of politics now that's brewing around this case, calling this targeted, selective outrage, and he's being punished for no crime, considering there was no drugs found on him, and this could be just because he could belong to a certain community. Those are the kind of reactions coming in from political leaders across. Your opinion?
I saw the tweet of Mehbooba Mufti, and just like any other Indian, felt repulsed, and it's a disgrace that we have a former chief minister who is trying to invoke religion, overlooking the fact that under the constitution an accused is an accused. Mehbooba Mufti didn't feel targeted when she became the chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir. Shah Rukh Khan has been given immense love and respect by the citizenry of our country. Today, if his son has indulged in an illegality, it is for the court to decide. Why is Mehbooba Mufti invoking his surname and a particular religion? This is the kind of politics that we don't need in a vibrant India. And people will not forgive Mehbooba Mufti for this. This is unpardonable.
Well, Well, here on the other hand, there are allegations that the NCB could have been biased while detaining and arresting some of those. In fact, Nawab Malik of the NCP has pointed out that there were a few arrests that were made initially, a few of them, which you may be following on television. We've been airing it for the last few days. Two of them belongs to, they are connected to BJP leaders. One of them, the brother-in-law of a BJP leader in Maharashtra. And they were let off immediately after their connections were made known. This is what Nawab Malik accuses the NCB, almost saying that they are biased.
Last that I saw the constitution, it was the courts of the country that deliver justice, not Nawabs of NCP. I would only like to say that giving this entire crime a spin, somebody trying to attach a religion to it, somebody trying to political saying it is vendetta, I will give them unsolicited advice. Mr. Nawab Malik should immediately move the High Court and say it's a case of qualified and thus get the charges quashed. By this political rhetoric, just because his own relative has been, arrested in the case.
Right, Gaurav Bhatia, thank you very much for joining us with those details. There you have it. A political spin been given to this case. You have Mehbooba Mufti, now PDP chief, also saying that Aryan Khan has been targeted because his name is Khan. Now, Maharashtra is witnessing a day-long bandh to support victims of Lakhimpur violence. Mumbai, Pune, Thane, Aurangabad and other big and small cities were witnessing shutdown, which was called in by the ruling Mahavikas Aghadi government in solidarity with farmers until 4 p.m. Normal life has been affected with buses and taxis off roads. Sena workers are forcefully getting shops shut in Mumbai's Kurla West area. Mumbai's best BEST buses were stopped after stone pelting incident. BEST in a statement has said 9 buses were damaged. Shops and commercial establishments too are closed in Mumbai as well as other cities. Mumbai's lifeline, local trains are running as per schedule, and there was huge crowds in metro stations as well. Even metro was running to full capacity. Essential services including hospitals, grocery shops and essential services, of course, operating as normal. Congress workers, meanwhile, have taken out a Maun Yatra to Raj Bhavan at noon. Additional police have also been deployed in Mumbai to avoid any untoward incident.
सरकार ने कोई स्थापना बंद नहीं किया है, लेकिन ड्राइवर और स्टाफ काम पे नहीं आए तो निश्चित रूप से गाड़ियां नहीं निकलेंगी और शांतिपूर्वक बंद है। कुछ जगह पे पत्थरबाजी की कोई बात सामने आ रही है, ये ठीक नहीं। इस तरह का कोई काम ना करे ताकि बंद में अलग तरह की खबरें आए। शांतिपूर्वक आंदोलन हो शाम तक, हम लोगों से मांग करते हैं।
बीजेपी जो केंद्र में बैठी हुए सब गुनहगारों को सत्ता में बिठाकर देश में लोगों को तबाह करने का काम कर रही है, उसका विरोध कांग्रेस कर रही है। और आज महाराष्ट्र में तीनों दल, शिवसेना हो, एनसीपी हो, कांग्रेस हो, मिलकर इस लोक भावना का आदर करते हुए इस बंद में शामिल हुए हैं। आप बोल रहे कि कहीं जबरदस्ती, ऐसी बात का कांग्रेस कभी समर्थन नहीं करती और जो भी गलती करेगा उसको कार्रवाई हो, ये भी मांग कांग्रेस करती है।
ढोंगीपणा करायचा आणि मीडिया अटेन्शन कॅच करायची, एवढंच यांचं काम आहे। हे सगळे मीडियाच्या पुढे बोलणारे लोक आहेत। जमिनीवर काहीच नाही, जमिनीवरचं दुःख पाहिलं नाही। मला सांगा, मराठवाड्याच्या शेतकऱ्याचे अश्रू पुसण्याकरता यांच्यापैकी कोणीतरी गेलं का? हे कोणी गेले नाही। पालकमंत्री देखील अर्धे गेले नाही आहेत। मुख्यमंत्री उपमुख्यमंत्री तर सोडाच, अर्धे पालकमंत्री त्या ठिकाणी गेलेले नाही आहेत।
Durga Puja Pandal in Kolkata depicting farmers' agitation there, and the recent incident in Uttar Pradesh has now ensued in a war of words, with the BJP questioning why shoes were placed inside the place of worship. TMC, however, says that an artist's creativity can never hurt religious sentiments. Let's take a listen.
The farmers' agitation-themed pandal in Dum Dum area of Kolkata has become the bone of contention between BJP and TMC. The pandal, which has slippers leading from the outside till before the place where the idol of goddess Durga is kept, to which BJP leader Shubhendu Adhikari says that shoes are meant to be on the feet or outside temples and that Hindus are not so weak.
তো হাঁটাও এত হিন্দুরা দুর্বল হয়ে যায়নি হিমের নামে শিল্পী সত্তার নামে দেবী মা দুর্গার তার সনাতনী ঐতিহ্য তার রীতি পরম্পরা কতগুলো চ্যাংড়ার হাতে চলে যাবে অত দুর্বল হিন্দুরা হয়ে যায়নি
BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal too has written to the Chief Justice of India that shoes do not find their place inside a place of worship and hence the pandal hurts religious sentiments. Trinamool Congress, however, says there's no sense to the allegations made by the BJP as an artist can never hurt religious sentiments.
শিল্পীর শিল্প সত্তা কখনো কোনো ধর্মীয় আবেগের গণ্ডিতে থাকে না বা তাকে আঘাত করে না যাদের শিল্প সত্তা নেই তারা এটা নিয়ে বিভ্রান্তিতে ভোগেন দুর্গা পুজো হচ্ছে এমন একটা পুজো যেখানে ধর্মীয় আচরণের থেকেও বেশি আমরা সবাই এটাকে জাতীয় উৎসব হিসেবে পালন করি এবং মায়ের আরাধনা করি
Pandal organizers, however, say the intention was to showcase the plight of farmers, which is a burning issue in the country.